Our next speaker is Mr. Rian Bahran, who currently serves as the Deputy Assistant Secretary for Nuclear Reactors in the U.S. Department of Energy's Office of Nuclear Energy, where he oversees research, development, demonstration, and deployment programs for all nuclear reactor activities in the department, including regulatory, artificial intelligence, space, defense, maritime, and recent federal land reactor and fuel pilot initiatives. Mr. Bahran previously worked for more than 10 years at Los Alamos National Laboratory and went on to serve as a senior advisor to the Undersecretary of Defense. He served as the Assistant Director for Nuclear Technology and Strategy in the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy, leading policy development on issues related to nuclear fission and fusion energy, national security, and AI. He earned dual Bachelor of Science degrees in nuclear engineering and engineering physics, and a PhD in nuclear science and engineering, all from Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. Mr. Bahran.
Good morning, Mr. Director General, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. It is really a privilege for me to be here to speak to this distinguished assembly of global leaders on two subjects of critical importance to our nation's future. At the Department of Energy, Secretary Chris Wright has given us the mandate of trying to give every nudge that we can in the federal government to our nuclear industry so we can accelerate nuclear deployment. And at the department, we actually recognize this relationship between nuclear energy and artificial intelligence as a virtuous cycle of peaceful nuclear deployment, where accelerating AI development and AI accelerating peaceful nuclear deployment both go hand in hand. This relationship complements and supports the overarching context of the U.S. administration's objectives to ensure and enhance energy abundance, promote innovation, and pursue deregulation, both in the United States and globally. So, our goals for AI at the Department of Energy are integrated into a bigger initiative that President Trump announced last week, the Genesis mission. You may have heard of it. Genesis will harness the current AI and advanced computing revolution, and the goal is simple: to double the productivity and impact of American science and engineering within a decade. America's $30 trillion economy can be advanced through an ambitious goal, which takes advantage of our innovation ecosystem that invests $1 trillion of both federal and private dollars together, integrating those R&D capabilities, those partnerships, with the Department of Energy's 17 multidisciplinary national laboratories that we consider our crown jewels, working with industry and academia to build what will be an integrated platform that connects the world's best supercomputers, AI systems, quantum systems, advanced scientific instruments, the singular scientific data sets at the national laboratories, including the expertise with 40,000 scientists and engineers, in one platform. And so the goal is to not just tackle science and engineering, but to focus on what we consider our three grand challenge areas that are at the heart of the Department of Energy's mission: energy, scientific discovery, and national security. For energy, AI will be used to accelerate sustainable fusion power. For fusion energy, a breakthrough could be using AI to contain plasma that is hotter than the sun by predicting plasma instabilities, for real-time control and developing novel materials that can withstand these extreme conditions over long periods of time. For reactors, I'll talk a little bit more in depth about our vision, but we do think that we can optimize and really revolutionize the deployment of advanced nuclear technology. And we can enable a more intelligent and resilient electrical grid. For discovery science, AI will be used to illuminate molecular dynamics, unify data to understand the universe from quarks to cosmos, and to generate new quantum algorithms. And for national security, there are many applications. I'm happy to report that DOE has already launched, although this was announced a week ago, the first wave of interdisciplinary teams that are tackling these challenges including a team that is looking to accelerate our AI for nuclear energy deployment initiative. So we are confident that the technological capabilities underpinned by this Genesis major effort will help us transform our AI for nuclear deployment initiative. And ultimately, the goal is to tackle 5 major pillars, which is revolutionizing how we do R&D, design, licensing, manufacturing, and operation of reactors. We think AI can transform each of these. And we have ambitious, some would say aspirational goals, but we do have targets. Our strategic objectives include, let's say for R&D, we see a future of, and a near future, by the way, an AI-driven laboratory pipeline for materials modeling, discovery, characterization, evaluation, qualification, and rapid iteration. These efforts will substantially reduce the time and cost required to qualify advanced materials for next-generation reactor systems. This is an autonomous research paradigm that integrates 5 decades of global irradiation data with generative AI, robotics, and high-throughput experimentation methodologies. For design, we're developing advanced software systems capable of accelerating nuclear reactor deployment by enabling AI to explore the comprehensive design spaces, generate 3D models, conduct rigorous failure mode analyses with minimal human intervention, but of course with humans in the loop. These AI-powered design tools are projected to reduce design timelines by multiple factors. And the goal is to connect AI agents to tools to expedite autonomous design. On licensing, we're developing tools to streamline regulatory documentation. This is one that our industry also has been leading in a tremendous way. And ultimately, the objective is how do we accelerate that licensing pathway? One of the things that we're doing is, in the United States, is actually regulatory reform and regulatory harmonization between the Department of Energy, the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, and we actually think AI has a role to play on harmonization domestically, internationally, and that also includes capacity building as well. Think of a future where there is a gold standard AI trained capacity building safety agent. For manufacturing, we aim to employ AI technologies that reduce fabrication delays, strengthen supply chain reliability, and optimize factory and modular production methods. An objective and an aspirational goal is to achieve over 75% of reactor production through advanced and robotic manufacturing, leveraging the predictive analytics to prevent delays, machine learning algorithms for real-time quality control, and intelligent supply chain management systems. And for autonomous power plant operations, we're developing software systems, employing AI-driven digital twins to interpret complex operational data in real time, detect subtle operational deviations at early stages, and recommend preemptive actions to enhance safety margins. This technology has the potential for applications not just on the autonomous design side of the house, not just on the additive manufacturing, but a full integrative loop to ensure that the sum is greater than the parts. The department's also working on developing tools for nuclear security and non-proliferation. AI offers great promise for enhancing the efficiency and effectiveness of IAEA safeguards, verification, and the U.S. strongly supports the IAEA's work in this area. The Department of Energy is developing different AI tools, including digital twin technologies for safeguard verification and operational monitoring. They're developing large language models trained on specialized non-proliferation data sets, advanced search capabilities to discover, detect, and locate proliferation activities, human AI collaborative frameworks to enhance model reliability. The Department of Energy and NNSA is also working to assess AI system risks. And this includes the integration of nuclear threat expertise with data science capabilities that enables rapid iterative assessment, leveraging authoritative knowledge across the national laboratories, facilities, and sites, and establishing agile research development assessment cycles for evolving threat analysis. That distilled nuclear subject matter expertise at the national labs supports industry as they develop guardrails. And Anthropic, as just one example, as a partner of the department, and they've demonstrated a strong performance in differentiating potentially harmful from benign content. So I've talked about AI for nuclear. Let's talk a bit about nuclear for AI. This slide is intended to show you the demand signal that we have seen in the United States. There's a growing list of commercial partnerships between nuclear, data center, and AI companies. The list grows actually every month, but this includes credible offtake from hyperscalers. It includes partnerships, not just for power purchasing agreements and authorities, but direct financing to support advanced reactor development, demonstration, and deployment. So this is quite exciting and ongoing, and the headlines keep coming, and I'm happy to report that the federal government and the administration specifically has reacted in a really strong way, which is on May 23rd, the Trump administration put out 4 executive orders to promote nuclear technology, and they directed the Department of Energy specifically to catalyze a nuclear renaissance. And the executive orders, they say a lot and they do a lot. A few of the key takeaways: they set a target of quadrupling nuclear energy in the United States by 2050. And we want to do this by building gigawatt-scale AP1000s, and we have tools for that, by advancing Generation 3+ SMRs, and we just awarded yesterday $800 million, $400 million to 2 companies to enable fleet mode deployment. I'll talk about that in a few minutes. Gen 4 reactors and microreactors. We need all of the above. The executive orders also direct us to undertake regulatory reform, which is going well, establish pathways for spent fuel reprocessing and recycling, develop a comprehensive nuclear fuel cycle infrastructure, and create workforce pipelines. And the Department of Energy, working with other federal agencies, including representatives that are here at this meeting, are busy implementing these directions. One of the executive orders specifically talks about taking advantage of our DOE sites with the goal of being able to entice applications for energy generation and data centers taking advantage of our federal lands. And so last September, actually just a few months ago, the Office of Nuclear Energy released a request for applications for Idaho National Laboratory, which is the nuclear engineering laboratory. Similarly, Idaho, Oak Ridge Reservation, Paducah, and Savannah River also released requests for applications, again with the goal of how do we take advantage of our federal lands to entice both data center and energy generation co-location applications. We think this is important, not just because of the importance of being able to power AI, but because we've heard this from industry. Those headlines are because hyperscalers understand that nuclear energy offers substantial advantages for data centers. It's firm, it's reliable, it has 99.999% availability, it's flexible, it's scalable. And so we're trying to do everything that we can, including looking at our federal lands. We're offering financing, and so the administration is leaning into accelerating deployment. And one of our most powerful tools is the Energy Dominance Financing Program. This is the ARTIS, formerly known as the LPO, Loan Programs Office, which has $260 billion in lending authority. And nuclear is eligible for all of those dollars. Actually, the Energy Dominance Finance Program was created with nuclear in mind. Between that and the investment tax credits that we have in the United States, which applies to all, not just budgeted construction, but also cost overruns, the federal government in the United States is committed to paying 30 to 50 cents of every overrun dollar in the United States through these 2 capabilities. So I want to touch on some of our programs that we're quite excited about. In addition to lands and leasing and financing, we are trying to advance every single one of those technologies. I'll start with our reactor pilot program, and the goal there, which was established as directed by the executive order, was to turn on at least 3 advanced reactors by July 4th of next year. And I'm happy to say that we are actually on track. This is the list of the companies that we've accepted, and it spans major reactor concepts from high-temperature gas reactors to pressurized water reactors, heat pipe reactors, liquid metal-cooled reactors, and molten salt reactors. We didn't provide any federal funding. To the contrary, there has been, I think, over the course of from the beginning of this administration, over $80 billion of private money has gone into nuclear in the United States, and over $100 billion of increase in market caps. And so we're providing the ability to have a pathway to get DOE authorization to turn on a reactor quickly and safely. In addition to the reactors, we've also established a pilot program for fuel lines. And the importance there is we recognize a bottleneck as relates to fuel fabrication facilities for some advanced fuels like TRISO. And so we also offer the ability to turn on a fuel line capability very quickly. I mentioned Generation 3 Plus. Yesterday we announced $400 million in a federal cost share to advance initial projects in Tennessee and Michigan. And that includes, by the way, enabling follow-on fleet mode deployments. And that went to both Tennessee Valley Authority and another $400 million to Holtec Government Services. And the goal of these selections will be to deliver fleet mode deployment of Generation 3 Plus technologies. So a really, really exciting announcement. On Generation 4, I'm excited to report that our investments in TerraPower, X-Energy, Kairos are going incredibly well. X-Energy's construction permit application is under the 18-month NRC review. You might have seen, I think last week, the headline that they received an oversubscribed series of investments. By the way, that was on top of the $500 million round of investment that Amazon had led for them. For TerraPower, we're excited to see, and sorry that I had them reversed, but for TerraPower, we anticipate the NRC's decision on TerraPower's construction permit. We anticipated that by the end of the year, we saw that good news this past week. And so tremendous progress from these companies, not just on their financial ability to fundraise, not just on the technical milestones to demonstrate the feasibility and versatility of their technology, not just on the regulatory milestone to demonstrate that their glide path to commercial viability, but equally important, their partnerships with these end users, these non-traditional end users of hyperscalers that are looking to take advantage of this important power. So I'll end by saying I echo the Director General's closing statement, which is let's not predict the future, let's build it. I agree. I think we need to do it quickly and safely. And I'm grateful that all of you are here to help us figure this out together. Thank you.